Hey guys, what's up? It's Samara Renee, and I am here to share my fitness journey with you and how that all comes together as a very integral part of my self-care routine. So I'm going to talk about growing up, my relationship with food and fitness, and how it's evolved over the years, and where am I at now, and some of my goals. And then I'm also going to share a few tips on how to make fitness part of your daily life. So if you're new to my YouTube page, welcome. I'm so glad to have you with us. My name is Samara Renee, and I am here to teach you all about how to make self-care a part of your daily life so you can make yourself a priority. I have yo-yoed up and down over the years. I think I have done basically every exercise program. My weight has always gone up and down throughout my life. What I realized a couple years ago was if you look at any of my photos across my life from 9 all the way up until 39, you will see like this roller coaster ride with my weight, and that's always tied to my mental health. I just want to share my journey because I think there's a lot of people who can really relate, and my whole goal is just to be like super vulnerable this year. That's why I started this YouTube channel, because number one, it was something I've been saying forever. My struggle with weight really had to start was starting age 9, and age 9 was like a really critical like turning point with my relationship with my mental health, fitness, self-esteem, everything. Like within myself, I was comfortable with myself. Other people would say something about me that was either an issue. I have had so many people say so many mean and nasty things to me in my lifetime. Like it's not even funny. Telling me to my face, like, you're ugly, stupid. I don't know if it was because I was just like super nice and I was just like, okay, like fine, and then I'd go cry somewhere else. Really been like outside influences that really have affected how I feel about myself. I've noticed is that when I am by myself, I am super confident and I am happy, I am good. Instead of, communicating my feelings with my parents, I was turning to food to deal with loneliness and sadness and stress, underlying depression. That's a huge aspect of my life, is that I just have had this consistent depression that, I didn't know that's what it was. There's a term for it where it's like a long-term depression that doesn't go away. It's just a consistent depression that goes on and on and on. So anyway, I was diagnosed with that. There's one thing I do to cope and make myself feel better is I tend to eat. I've always just put on weight like super easy. Starting at age like 9, that was a turning point where I was having outside influences, family members, kids in class say that I was fat. I remember my first day at school, I was so excited. This is in kindergarten, of course. First day of school, I walk in, my mom, she tells me, like, you're gonna do good. Like, all of your sisters did this, and I know you can too. Don't cry, you'll be fine. I walk into the classroom and I'm feeling good. My first interaction with another student was walking into the little play kitchen, and I wanted to play. So I said, I'm like, hey, like, can I play with you? And the little girl, I'll never forget this, turned to me and said, no, you can't play with us because you're ugly, and just turned her back. So of course I started crying, and I just went to the corner. I want to say it was like the reading corner, and I just cried. And that's how my first day of kindergarten went. And of course, I never shared that with my parents, but that was my first day of kindergarten. And I think I went like a couple weeks, maybe, I don't know. I was in kindergarten. How the hell do I know? It must have been a week or two, and I didn't have any friends. Eventually, I ended up meeting one of my best friends, Belinda. She was the first kid to ever come up to me and say, hey, like, you want to come play with me? And then after that, we were like best friends. In 4th grade, even worse. We just moved to a new neighborhood and new school, and I got sat by the meanest kid I know he's either in jail or he's like a wife beater because he was that bad. I'd sit next to him and he used to like pinch my leg for like no reason, and he would sock me in the arm, and I took that for like way too long. And I'm like a very introverted person. I don't like to cause trouble. I just want to do my own thing. I leave people alone. I eventually went to my teacher and was like, I want to be moved. I said, I can't sit next to so-and-so. He's hitting me and he's hurting me, and I don't want to sit next to him anymore. He was just a mean, nasty kid, and I was just, I'm a nice person. Like, I'm like, what is this kid's problem? Like, what is this deal? So another experience was in middle school. I don't know why, like, when I look back at this now, I don't understand why a friend would share this information. So she was talking to another one of our friends, and I just happened to like walk up on the conversation. Oh, so what did your mom say? And she was like, oh, well, who's that fat pig in the photo? That's what her mom told her. And so she told me that. And I ended up just walking away and going to the bathroom and bawling my eyes out. And those were just like some of the early experiences of other influences saying really mean things to me. So, unfortunately, I was getting it at home. I was being told that I was fat by relatives, and that I needed to lose weight. And I was signed up for basketball class and swimming class, not because I loved it, but because I needed to lose weight. And it took the fun out of everything that I loved, because it was not for the purpose of me finding joy in that activity. It was because I was getting overweight and I needed to lose weight. But it's when other people come into my life and they're just mean and hurtful people, say really mean and ugly things, and they aren't sensitive to that would hurt somebody's feelings. There was stress, or if I was feeling lonely or sad, it was food. Funny, because when I look at pictures of myself in high school, I was super thin, and I thought I was the heaviest, ugliest person in the whole school. It felt weird and awkward, and people told me so. They were just like, like, she's like so weird, like, she's super quiet. Fitness for me wasn't something that I chose. It was because it was put upon me. In order for me to be normal, I had to work out and eat healthy and all of that sort of thing, because I was getting too fat. High school, and I hated high school. Some people, they just loved high school, and that was like their heyday. From the day I walked into high school, I was ready to get out. So when I went to college, I made the choice to start going to gym class, and my sister, she was a professional trainer, and so she got this thing called a total gym. I think they still sell it. And so, we would work out on a total gym, and she never made me feel like I was fat. She's always been really, really thin, but, we would work out just because, it was good and was healthy, and it was our time to spend time together. So I started going to the gym. That was just for me to deal with my stress and anxiety that I was dealing with. That was a positive thing for me, and I felt good and I looked good, and I started getting a little bit more attention from guys, which was really nice because I really didn't have that much. College, that was kind of like my heyday, where I was like feeling good, looking good. My nutrition wasn't great. My mental health wasn't great. And so my weight went up and down, up and down. I've been on every single diet, every single fitness program. I did P90X. I did it all. I did all of the different diets. And the one that really worked for me, but really isn't sustainable for me, was like the Whole30 program. I did that for 30 days. And I believe it was like 2016. I did the Whole30. And of course, you wipe out everything out of your diet. It's like no processed food, no dairy, no wheat, basically anything delicious you can't have. It makes things really simple, because when you're shopping, you just shop in areas where look for meat, fruit, vegetables, and you can't go wrong with anything. As long as you do that, you're good. That's a recommendation, was not to weigh yourself on the Whole30. Did that for 30 days. I lost an incredible amount of weight. It was insane. As I dropped sugar, I dropped processed foods, dairy, like everything delicious went out of my diet. That lasted for months, maybe a year or two. Like, my weight stayed down. The thinnest I've ever been in my life. I don't know what weight I was, but I know that I was really tiny. I was a size 4 again, and I haven't been like a size 4 since high school. I just dropped all of this weight. Yeah, but it was really hard and it wasn't sustainable. And so I said, you know, if I was going to do something like that again, I want to make sure that I have balance in my life. What else have I done? I started hiking. That was something that I started in my 20s, was going on these hikes with friends, and I really got into that. Let's talk about trainers. I had a trainer and I worked really hard for a while, and then something would happen and then I would give up. Actually, it was 2012. I had a trainer and I was basically doing her like fitness model plan, and it was strict. Like, you basically ate nothing, and it was like, you know, you measure everything. It was like super restrictive. Yes, I lost weight. I got back down to like my high school weight, but I wasn't happy because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat anything. And it just wasn't sustainable for me to live like her workout plan. I was doing 2 days. I would get up at 6 in the morning. I would work out, go to work, and then I would go to the gym after work. So I think I was still in school. No, I wasn't. I was in my master's program. So I was going through a breakup, on this crazy like fitness journey, and then also like trying to get my master's. And I'm going through all of this, and eventually it just came to a head. And I was just like, you know, something in my life has got to go. So first it was a boyfriend. And second, it was like fitness, because I was like, I just need to get through this master's program. I spent so much money, pulled out so many student loans. I'm going to make it worth it. So I ended up, you know, talking to my trainer, and she was just like, you know, are you going to give up? Like, are you really going to give up on yourself because this relationship ended? And I just said, I don't care anymore, you know? And she's like, you know, like, don't you care about yourself? And I said, I don't, like, I don't care about myself. And it was so weird hearing myself say that out loud, that I didn't care about myself anymore. And I didn't care about anything. It was really, really scary. I stopped working out. Of course, I put on a ton of weight, and that lasted for a while. And then eventually I snapped out of it, and I started going to the gym again, but I said I need more balance. So I was going to the gym at least like 5 or 6 days a week, but I was at least staying healthy and having fun, but my nutrition wasn't great. So again, I put on weight, and then I did the Whole30 in 2016. I lost an incredible amount of weight. My stomach, which has never been flat my whole life, like, I literally felt like I woke up one morning and my belly was gone. It was insane. It was insane. The only downside about the Whole30 is when you clean out your diet of all the things that are basically yummy. So that's like alcohol, sugar, processed foods, dairy, anything delicious, like, you can't have. The bad thing is that when you're done with the 30 days, you start adding things back into your diet. I have a thing for French fries. Like, I freaking love French fries. If I can eat French fries every day, I would. But so when I start adding things back into my diet, I started to put on weight, which was my signal, but I wasn't paying attention enough that I shouldn't eat that anymore, and that I should find something else to eat. When I lost all of that weight, I was really uncomfortable with being skinny. It's a weird thing to say, but I know that there's got to be somebody else out there that feels like that. But it was just so strange being thin. Like, I'm so used to just, you know, like, you know, I'm not like a tiny girl. Like, you know, I'm curvy, I got a butt, and it's like, those things never go away. But I mean, I literally could go and put on anything and it fit, and I looked good. And I was getting a ton of attention from guys. And I was like, what is this? And it was really uncomfortable for me because I'm used to people not paying attention to me, and I'm cool with that. So when like all this tension started coming to me and like guys were asking me out and all of this stuff, it was just really, really uncomfortable for me. Super weird, but it's like, I don't know, it's definitely something in my brain, but it was like, this is everything I ever wanted. I just wanted to be like thin and happy and have guys pay attention to me. And when I finally got it, I was like, I don't like this. This is weird. This is uncomfortable. I don't want anyone to look at me. Like, I just slowly started putting weight on again. And then, you know, I went through ups and downs with depression, put on a bunch of weight. And then this last time I put on weight, gosh, I went through some stuff in 2016. I think that was the main thing. I did the Whole30, lost a bunch of weight, and then I got into this like crazy summer romance, which was insane. Maybe one day I'll talk about that, but I don't know. Got into this crazy summer romance with this guy from Germany, and he ended up leaving, and then we had this whole like, you know, overseas relationship thing, and it ended terribly. And like from that point of December 2026 up until now, I literally have been going up and down with my fitness and my weight, and went through severe depression through that time. And it's been a struggle. It really has been a struggle. Why am I telling you all this? Number one, like, if you're going through like weight loss, fitness journey, whatever you want to call it, I'm here with you. I've done it all. The one thing that I know for sure is that every woman needs balance. For me personally, I need balance. I need a balance between a fun life and being able to eat delicious food because I'm a foodie, and being really healthy. And now that I'm on the twilight of my 40s, I'm really, really freaking out about my health, because I'm realizing from the last time that I put on weight, I mean, I didn't even tell you guys that this last time of me putting on weight was the heaviest I've ever been. Like the first time I'm saying this, but I was like 202 pounds, and I'm like 5'2". Like, that's ridiculous. But in my head, I was like, you know, I was like 180, and then I started going up. And then like in my head, I was just kind of like, well, I don't really care. And I was like, well, shoot, like I'm already this far, I might as well hit 200. And I hit 200 pounds. And I picked the worst time to like not take care of myself. It was like, if there was any time for me to be healthy mentally and physically, it was between 2016 until July of 2022. Like, that was the time I needed to have it together, and I didn't. I think I missed out on an opportunity to like really be like in the mix of dating during my prime time, and I probably would have been married by now had I not done all of this like self-sabotage with food and eating and depression and all of this stuff. The trigger for me losing weight for the last time, I was in really good shape up until May 2020. Of course, everybody knows like COVID was going on. So my weight was pretty balanced, but I was still like maybe 30 pounds heavier than I should have been. 2020, I was doing fabulous during COVID. I actually loved COVID because number one, it was like the first time I really have had a break in like years of like actually not working and focusing on myself. And I spent a whole lot of time doing self-care, blogging. It was such a great time, and I didn't mind being by myself, but it was something about going back to work in May 2020 that was a huge trigger for me. I was like super unhappy. I just wanted to get out of that job. I couldn't find a job anywhere, and I literally said in my head, I cannot stay here one more freaking year. Like, I cannot. imagine myself in this place doing the same thing again. I cannot imagine living life like this. Like, I can't do it. So by some miracle, I ended up getting an opportunity to take on the current job that I have and making the switch. I went to the doctors. My doctor said, like, I was basically in trouble, really like in bad shape. I had a biometric screening that just confirmed that as well. And so basically my doctor was like, you know, either you lose the weight or we're gonna have to put you on diabetes medication. Because basically I was diabetic. I don't want to do this, so I need to lose weight. Losing weight, it didn't come off. It didn't come off as fast and as easy as, say, when I was in like my mid-20s. It's taken me 2 years to lose weight and change my body composition to the point it is now. Definitely not where I should be. Now that we're here at this point, I'm going to tell you one of the tips that I have is, number one, you have to want to get fit on your own. You have to want to start this journey. Number two, you have to really be serious and dedicated. That means no matter what, you are working out, you are meal prepping, you are tracking your goals, you are doing whatever it takes to get you on board. So for me, once I started these fitness classes, that was kind of like the peer pressure of having other people in the office like walk by your door and say, hey, are you going to class today? You were like, you know, if you were like, no, then there would be another person who would come by and be like, hey, are you going to class today? So I started taking these fitness classes, and, you know, I just realized like what bad shape I was in. It was horrible. It was embarrassing. I was like, I used to be able to do all of this stuff and it was super easy, and now I can't even do it. I'm taking the classes ever since just to get myself going, and I really started to work out, and then I got a gym membership to Planet Fitness as well. And I started going on the weekends and adding that in time. And I have had put on weight in places I've never put on weight. I normally, like, I put on weight always in my stomach. That's like a given. But like the weight in my face and like the double chin action, like whole nother level. If you're like under 35 and you're watching this, my advice to you is to keep your weight under control. Number one, it's better for your health. Number two, you are at least like have a really good baseline to continue to improve your health. Your hormones change, and it can be really, really hard. So that brings us to where I'm at now. So I realized during this whole process that, number one, I am not a person who can just work out for mental health. I have to do, in order for me to be in a healthy state of mind and be in good mental health, I have to do medication and I have to do fitness. I have to move my body every single day to be mentally in a healthy state of mind. That's part of my self-care that I have to do every day without fail, or I'm going to be in trouble. I had no options anymore because my mental health was so bad. I was like, I have to get on this. Like, I need to take this seriously. The next part of that is nutrition. And with this last period of me putting on weight, I really had some bad readings on my labs and things. And one of the things that was really serious was just the inflammation in my body, especially around my heart. I was having like cardiac inflammation, which is not good. So that was like a real big trigger that we're really watching right now. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with, is just trying to get the weight off so I can, number one, get the inflammation down in my body, and number two, also just keep my blood sugar in check. Things that I've been doing to help myself get back in shape, and definitely something that you should think about and incorporate. Number one is you have to be relentless with your health and wellness. It's a priority. if you are not in a good, healthy state of mind and physical health, you can't take care of anyone else. So you have to make your self-care a priority. Honestly, working out for 1 hour a day isn't that long. Like, you spend more time like at work and doing a bunch of other things for other people, and you can't take like literally 1 hour to go move your body. If you really sit and think about that, it's kind of ridiculous. An hour is not a long period of time. So if you got to put it in the morning first thing, do it, or after the kiddos go to bed, do it. You got to find a time that works for you, but you have to make sure that you keep your body physically healthy, because if you're not taking your health, you're not going to stay alive very long. And number 2, it's good for not only your physical body, but mentally. It keeps your mind producing those endorphins that give you that like happy feeling, like after working out, like high. So you got to get up and move your body so you can walk, go to the gym, yoga, Pilates, whatever, to, running, anything just to get your heart rate up. I highly recommend strength training. Strength training is the easiest way and fastest way to not only like build strength, gives you those sexy lines that everybody want. The fountain of youth is muscle. So my suggestion or recommendation for any woman is to lift weights and to lift heavy. And what I mean by lifting heavy is anything that you can comfortably lift, but also it's challenging enough that it makes you break a sweat. I'm really fortunate because like the way God built me is I have a lot of muscle mass. So the more muscle you have, the more like fat that you can burn. It was just to try to put on a ton of muscle so I can start burning fat, and then also like make some changes in my diet and drinking water. My weight has really kind of like plateaued, but my body fat is like slowly trickling down, and my readings are actually getting better. And I will show you. So I just did my fitness check-in. This is another reason why I wanted to get back to you today, is I did my fitness check-in. So if you haven't been following me, we do these fitness incentives at my job. And so basically we get an extra $150 bonus in our check if we do this fitness program. We do the quarterly check-ins, and if we hit our goals, so it can be body fat, visceral fat, water, and like muscle, you pick one of those. And then if you hit your goal, I think if you're even like a percent, it's like 1% of your goal or something like that, then you get the fitness incentive. So for me, I'm like, I need extra money to pay down my debt, so I'm willing to stay healthy so I can get that bonus. To that, my main thing is like body fat. So if there's one thing I could recommend, is that if you're trying to lose weight, instead of weighing yourself, I would definitely do measurements instead. A tip that I have is track your food. Either you can use apps like the MyFitnessPal. Another good one is LifeSum. That's another good app to track your food. It also gives you healthy recipes. So tracking your food, making your health and wellness a priority, working out and moving your body every single day for like, you got to get an hour in. This thing that you can do to just start your health journey is to start making small changes. So for me, what I did was I started out with just getting like frozen meals that were like healthy choice. I started with that. I did that for like a week or two, and then I got over it, and I was like, okay, I can feel like the sodium in this food, so I'm gonna stop eating this. And so then I changed it, and I said, okay, well, I'm gonna start cooking at home, and I've been cooking at home ever since. It's super easy. I meal prep on Sunday. I just put everything into tinfoil, pop it into my air fryer, walk away, go do a bunch of other stuff. So I'll make like chicken and vegetables, and I have spinach and arugula like salad mix that I like a lot. And then I just make my lunches, and then I usually make for lunch, I have like turkey or chicken, and then our salmon. I eat salmon a lot. I would recommend eating breakfast. If you work out in the morning, I would recommend eating after your workouts. So when you work out in the morning, you can just work out and get that fat burn, because when you wake up first thing in the morning and you work out on an empty stomach, it burns more fat. Stay consistent. I have a planner and I do my weekly planner, and I need to record that actually, of like what I do every Sunday in my weekly planner. But I basically lay out the week, give myself daily tasks, and workout is the priority. It's always on top. So, you know, Monday through Saturday, I write down everything I need to do. I write down water. I write down when I need to buy groceries. Other things like walking for 20 minutes. I added that a couple of months ago. I walk for 20 minutes every day after work. And so adding those little things in, like, slowly over time and making that a routine just makes it easy. So my body knows to expect. Write it down, hold yourself accountable, have an accountability buddy. I'm a big believer of writing down your goals and then posting it, like either on your fridge or in your bathroom. Vision boards, another thing is, like, you know, if you're looking for that healthy body, find a fitness influencer or somebody who is going to inspire you to keep going and to work hard. Definitely educate yourself, surround yourself with healthy fruits and vegetables. One thing that I started was just ordering healthy snacks for our office, because we all like to eat, but we're like, okay, well, if we're gonna like have stuff in here, like, let's make it healthy. So we have, like, you know, organic nuts. Water is a huge thing. I drink a lot of water, and I love my hydro jug. It's the best. I drink like a gallon a day. Include walking into your day. I was at one point doing the 10,000 steps a day, and it's actually really hard, especially if you work in an office. But I was doing it. I was hiking, and now I'm afraid to hike on a trail because I ran into a snake one night and I almost stepped on it. It was really scary. So now I'm walking the parking lot, so I don't get like as many steps in. So now I'm like, right now my target's like 5,000 steps a day. Working out on a consistent schedule. So for me, I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday for sure. And then now I'm working out on Sunday to get that extra day in. And then I walk Tuesday, Thursday. So without fail, I'm working out. I make it very clear to everyone in the office, like, I am done at 4:30. I am not reachable. I will answer you the next following day. I'm getting a workout. And luckily, you know, even our CEO is very much about, like, I'm getting my workout in, like, no matter what. It's really good. It helps with stress, and it just gives you energy so you can do a better job. Don't even invest, like, if you're super lazy, just get a George Foreman grill. Literally, you can get one for like 20 or 30 bucks. Get, like, if you're making chicken, just like put a little bit of salt and pepper on it or whatever seasoning, throw it in a George Foreman, walk away. It'll be done in like 5 minutes or less, maybe more. It depends on if you're like chicken's thaw. Do that. Or for me, I do air fryer. I just, you know, wrap all of my chicken in tin foil, pop it in my air fryer, season it all up, put a little olive oil on it, and then I just set it for like 20 to 25 minutes, walk away. My chicken's done. All chicken's done for a week. Put my little turkey patties in there, walk away. Those are done in like 10 minutes. And I have everything made, like all my meals made for the week. Lastly, like, it's really having that belief that you deserve it, that you deserve to be healthy and fit, that you deserve to have a healthy and happy long life. And the other tips I have is just change up your workouts. You can find tons of fitness influencers. You can take classes. Bored, and that's why they stop. They get bored, they lose motivation. So if you can change it up by taking like a spin class, going for a hike, just make sure that it's fun for you. When you get bored, change it up. I even did a pole dancing class for a while, and that puppy was hard. I mean, people think that it's all fun and games being a pole dancer. It is not. It is freaking hard. Those girls are athletes. You have to be strong to be a freaking stripper. And that was hard. And I mean, literally after that class, our first class, my body hurt so bad, like so bad, because, you know, you're doing all these moves and then you're doing these swings on the pole and you're trying to keep your like weight up, and it was a moment. It was a moment. And I did that for a while, and then I said, you know what, I need to get back into strength training. And those are the tips I have. I'm continuing on day by day, step by step. I'm seeing progress. I'm not seeing like the scale dropping, but I am seeing body fat. So from where I was, I want to say I was like, I think when I first started work, I think I was at like 38% body fat. Right now I'm at 34.3. And so my goal is to get it down. Hopefully I can get it down to 29, and then I want to get it lower than that. I actually want to get my body fat down to like 23, but that's going to take some work. It's going to take some nutrition changes as well on my part. You know, I'm eating basically pretty clean, but I love sugar and I just have a hard time giving it up. I'm sure if I stopped eating sugar, like, I'd be golden, but I'm just trying to have a healthy balance. I love dessert. I like to drink wine, and I'm just trying to find a healthy balance for that. The things that I mentioned in this video will be in my description. So if you enjoyed this YouTube channel and my fitness journey so far, loved this wonderful YouTube post, feel free, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be posting a video every week. I believe I said Wednesday is my day that we're going to be posting YouTube video every Wednesday starting in February, and during the rest of this month of January, I'm just posting as much content as I can. That was my goal. And our whole focus this year is to level up and become that girl, the girl that you've always wanted to be. We're going to go step by step on how we can do it. I'll share self-care tips all year round of how to make self-care an integral part of your life. Like, you can weave self-care into your life. It's not that hard. I'm going to show you, make it simple and easy. And so with that, I will catch you next time.